Oh, I didn't see you there. You caught me staring at the wall. Now, yesterday I took a look at my PCGs that I have in my possession, the ones that survived the Great Fire. There was no fire. So, if you missed that episode, that was part 1 of my PCG investigation. The link is down in the show notes. But today, let's take a look at some more of my PCGs. Come on, let's take a look.
Okay, let's look at some more PCGs. Now, we covered a lot of Series 2 last time, so let's keep going down on the left-hand side of the page here and take a look at the Nazi machine. Now, as you might have noticed, Nazi is spelled incorrectly, and that was not a creative choice. That was me at the time not knowing how to spell Nazi, and I was too old to really be making that error. But actually, if you're not aware, this did not start off as a paper computer game. I was doodling this at Zach's house one day and kind of drawing this robot, and then I added like some kind of jagged effects around it, this kind of cityscape, like this maybe alien, maybe plane, some clouds. And then I just wrote Nazi machine. And Zach was like, oh my gosh, is that a paper computer game? And I was like, no, absolutely not. He's like, oh, it should be a paper computer game. And eventually I made the game, but it took a really long time. It was just like a title screen floating around for a long time. And then finally I made the game, and it took, I don't know how long it took, but it was a very long time. But this one is not stapled together, so let's remove this paper clip, and we'll take a look here. All right, there's a title screen right here. Now, in this one, I think you start off in the desert again. Here, you can see outside, and I believe this is obviously this is you. This is Zach, and you're like in a shack that's been like kind of busted up, and I believe, yeah, in this one, you're also an agent, and, you've gone through various trainings or something. Maybe that was the backstory, but this takes place in the 1940s, obviously during World War II, and I don't know what justification was here to bring you back to 1942, but it might have been as simple as like, oh, here you are, you find yourself in this situation, and you remember that you are in this scenario, something like that. Don't remember a ton about what to do here, but I think, there's obviously someone else who destroyed this area, and you had to kind of piece together some facts. Maybe you woke up, I'm not sure. It's also like something that I did was number the pages, and I think this might have happened after the fact. Sometimes it would happen before. Anyway, once you get out of the shack, I believe this is like a cinematic screen. I actually kind of like the way the explosion looks here. But like, I believe James, the secret agent, the English secret agent that kind of shows up in PCG Anniversary Special 2 in the sewers, he's a central character here, and I think he had kind of come, maybe he comes in this place, but yeah, looks like the shack is bombed by this fighter plane, and you have to like escape this. So you jump out in this big explosion. It looks like it's in the desert at night. Again, like a lot more cinema, and I'm actually kind of impressed with the angle on that plane. Definitely more artistry than normal. So that's kind of neat. And then we got this car over here, which I think you kind of come to. I don't know that there was a ton to solve here. I think it was more just like a cool cinematic thing, as I recall. Once you get out of the place, you're out. And okay, moving on. Oh, interesting. So this is I think, and I don't remember how this connects to the Nazi machine, but this may either be part of the Nazi machine or it might have been misplaced in this game, and it would have been part of the Western-themed game from Part 1. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go ahead and click down in the show notes for that video. But at least in the inception of this screen was part of the planned but canceled Western game that was eventually folded into the fabric of reality for that one screen. But this was like once you got out of the jail, this was like the town, and you would come out of the sheriff's, looks like a crossed out office. So it was just the sheriff's. And this was like the kind of town. And no screens were made for any of these. So maybe I reused it for the Nazi machine to like, okay, you drive into town, like since there was like a Western theme or like a desert going on. Or this might have just been mistakenly put here because this screen was never used. We'll find out maybe soon. But okay, moving on. Oh yeah, so this is the inventory maybe from that Western. It looks like there's your holster. Yeah, so I don't know if this is from the Nazi machine, but definitely obviously got put in with this one. We'll have to sort out where that goes. Okay, interesting. So this is definitely more Western themed stuff. So now I'm kind of thinking that this got part of the Nazi machine, and this was like kind of just sticking in the desert area. Maybe this was the town where we were in before, and then the train moves through here. I don't really have much of a memory at all of what was happening here. My memories of the Nazi machine kind of jump straight ahead to getting to Europe and whatnot after these screens. Although in the Nazi machine here, I should specify, I accidentally revealed, or retroactively, that alien at the end of Till Time Do Us Part was the Shadow. But this is the actual introduction of the Shadow. But we only hear about him off screen as this kind of shadowy influence that Zack has to fight against, kind of like a puppet master pulling the strings that Zack has to, in his secret agentness of the 1940s, fight against with the help of James. But I don't think James has actually arrived yet. I've kind of jumped the shark on that. Okay, so it seems like maybe you were kind of in maybe a lone monitoring shack out there in the desert. You kind of escaped getting bombed. You stole a car, or took the car that you already had or whatever, and then got to town, and then are trying to basically get back to the government, the U.S. government, so that you can continue your mission. So let's see what the next scene has. Aha! Yeah, so this was like a big jump. Here we see a party scene, and I think in between these two scenes, obviously a very big shift. It all happened in exposition, where you meet the colonel of the operation, and he introduces you to James, an English agent. And the colonel, I think, was like kind of like a kind of gruff Patton type general. I don't remember what his name was, but he was definitely there and convincing Zack to go on this mission, and they had an antagonistic relationship because Zack didn't want to do the mission as the general was ordering, or the general was giving orders, or the sergeant, whoever it was giving orders, and Zack doesn't like orders. So there was like this kind of tense interaction where they were arguing and whatnot. I believe they had to save game a few times because the general kept shooting him. I may be wrong on that, but it sounds right. But anyway, so he gets flown to Russia because he needs to find this agent, this Russian agent, Borishnikov. And I chose the name Borishnikov because it was a Russian-sounding name that I knew. And then realizing many years later that Borishnikov is the last name of a very famous Russian ballet dancer. And modern dancer. Anyway, so that's weird. But anyway, so then this scene, it's like this, basically you show up at this high society event, and you're trying to kind of schmooze your way into finding out information about the plots of the Shadow and what's going on here, and then get into Borishnikov, who I believe is this fellow over here, and he's kind of surrounded by his circle of partygoers, and you're trying to get him alone to warn him, I believe, of an assassination attempt on him. And I think he has secrets that you need, something like that. But there's all these colorful characters that I believe Zach talked to everyone here, there's a guy with 2 dogs here. This one woman is running away. I believe this is James. He's coming up from the sewer. James is always involved in the sewer. Some thugs outside. One of them is like this, tough, gun-wielding British thug. This guy's like maybe a caveman, looks like. I don't know. This person's wearing a cape. It's all these like random details. This person's doing a crazy dance. This person has a basket. She's just standing there. This person's she's laughing really hard maybe. There's a clown juggling. I don't know, just like a stick figure. This person's sitting on a stool looking away from everyone. It's like a drunk guy over here, the bartender. I think this was there's 2. I think these are 2 twins who have, a lot of money and power and hate each other, I think. So they're on opposite sides of the room. And, there's the band over here, singer, drummer, bass player, a trumpet player. I believe that Zach talked to everyone. I can't remember all the details here, but and this is, I believe, like a peanut man next to all the bottles, and he's partying. I think Zach did a lot of stuff with that guy somehow. But anyway, somehow Zach convinced Borishnikov to leave the party to kind of get him away, and get to the next screen, which is one of the first screens that actually had color. And this is Borishnikov. He's super drunk, and there's a sniper outside the window who keeps shooting Borishnikov, and Zach over here has to basically rescue him so that he doesn't get shot, and figure that out. But this color here is actually, I did the pencil, the line art first, and then I used this technique with pencil shavings, or colored pencil shavings. So you just use a pencil sharpener, and with a colored pencil you shave a little bit of the colored pencil, and then you use your finger and you kind of smear it around, and it kind of gives this soft effect, this kind of light pastelish soft effect. And I learned it in art class, just like a little art class that I was taking, and I thought, that would be kind of fun to use in this particular scene where you could use a 2-tone color, because it's good for large swashes of something. You can't do tricolor, detail work that well with it, because you're just using your finger and kind of rubbing around. So it would be hard to individually color all these things, and it would kind of be smudgy. So, but for this, it was okay, it's a nighttime scene. It might be a cool aesthetic to just kind of do blues and yellows. We got the moon, the light coming in from the moon, and then the blue as the darkness. So that was kind of fun to do. I believe Zach figures out a way to tackle him or something like that, or knock the bookcase over, lure him with more drinks or something, and that gets him rescued from getting shot. But then there's all these folks outside, so Zach's chasing these operatives, these people who are trying to kill Borishnikov. And so that continues on the roof. Let's turn this. There we go. Here's the nighttime. This is the Russian cityscape. We've got these kind of stylistic swirls for the mist or snow down here, and this is these are all these kind of enemy agents, and this is an enemy helicopter. This person up here has got a bazooka, I think you're starting from here, because this is where the window is shattered. And then there's maybe a clothesline here that gets you a zip down here. And he's gonna have to avoid all this stuff. And when you do that, I think you crash through a window. and end up in some person's house. Yeah, you crash through this window, and this angle is funny, but you've got like the TV, I guess, like kind of looks like a robot. Looking at the couch here, you kind of flown through, and this guy's like, ah! Got his hands up. He's got like a shotgun on the wall. Maybe gourds there. Not sure. Anyway, little apartment. I think you talk to him. Maybe he's like really scared, and you talk him down. I think Zach was able to like kind of calm him down or whatnot, or at least made him so that he doesn't immediately bonk him on the head or something. And then he just leaves by the door, I believe. And a train. Maybe this is out of order. Maybe not. Because I'm thinking like, oh, there was a train from the map screen in previous, back towards the beginning. Maybe that was from here, but maybe we just skipped ahead and, after that, run in with the guy whose house you crashed into, you got on a train to someplace else. Definitely known for, especially at this time, like having large gaps between screens. Like there wasn't a lot of connective tissue between each scene. Like, oh, then this leads to this, leads to this. It's like, okay, this screen, and then I explain some story thing and narrative, and then like et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, and then we get to this screen, which is fine. But yeah, I don't remember this screen at all. It looks like, we've got like a chef back here cooking. Maybe someone at a table preparing food. And then like passengers, random people here. It's like a lot of them have big hats. But I don't know which one would be Zach. Why he was here. Anyway, perhaps Zach will know. But for now, it's a mystery. Okay. So now this actually looks like a lot like an Indiana Jones, the Raiders of the Lost Ark scene, but it looks like Zach's going to be sneaking onto a submarine. It's probably a Soviet sub. I think that's Zach here, and there's people marching into the sub, so maybe he took a train to the sub. I'm not sure. Anyway, it's a thunderstorm, so it makes it dramatic. So I'm guessing the next screen will be inside the sub. Let's see if I'm right. No, I'm wrong. You maybe hijacked the sub in this previous scene, and now you're in it, and you're accosted by a giant squid. No relation to Pinchazoid cravicus, I'm sure. Slime ball squidicus, perhaps. Yeah. I guess, look, if you're underwater, it's a rule. You got to fight a giant sea monster. So that's what's happening here. I don't remember why or for what reason. It could be no reason. Who knows? Anyway, I guess you get past this squid, and you're in the air. Oh, wow. Okay, this must be water, right? I think this is all water. These are clouds up here. Maybe aircraft carriers or like gunboats. There's all these fighter jets, I think. This must be you here. I don't know how you got from the, the submarine fighting a squid up here. This part escapes me. Well, weird. But I guess you docked with a larger boat and then took off in a plane. And then you gotta fight these guys. Maybe you're getting onto this boat. I think, right, because I think the whole thing of this was that there was like a secret that you were trying to find out about, like what's going on here, You could kind of get a hint from the title, but like as in-game, you're like, what's this secret weapon they're hiding? And yeah, okay, interesting. We go here, and this is a plane. Maybe this came before this. This seems like it wasn't like put in order necessarily. Maybe this, right? We got these two screens. Like this seems like it would come before this one. You're gonna get into the plane before you take off in it. I'm not the best with order, but that makes sense to me. Still don't know how you got to here from the squid, but Anyway, very little memory. But, that's it, huh? I feel like we're missing some screens, because shouldn't there be a Nazi machine in the Nazi machine? This seems incomplete. But look at this. Let's take a look at the inventory here. It looks like we actually have some labels. Oh, and I was still trying to do some like kind of video gamey type things of like, okay, in this hand and this hand, and it looks like in both hands you've equipped a rifle or shotgun. It looks like there's some eraser marks where maybe, there was some other stuff in these hands before, but I can't imagine that I was that diligent with this. It seems like a lot of extra stuff to keep track of. But anyway, let's take a look at some of these inventory items here. Okay, we've got some bullets. We got, I guess, 3 bullets here. Makes sense for your gun of some kind. This is an apple. I'm sure this is a cork, I think. Maybe took from the wine bottle during the party scene. A fork, which I'm sure he stole from some person either on the train in the dining car or during the party. There's 56 cents. Chin laps, 24 chin laps. Now this is interesting. This is something I've thought for a while, but I believe this was the currency in Russia, or that, and obviously chin laps is not the currency in Russia, but it was either because I couldn't remember ruble as the currency in Russia, or because it was like some secret monetary currency that I wasn't planning on having, and Zach somehow talked his way into getting it, and I couldn't think of a name for it, so it came out chin laps. Anyway, he's got 24 of them here. It's like a radio, a bouquet of flowers. What does it say? A bit of paper which reads, "Our soap is divine." Yeah, Zach would save literally everything. I don't know where that came from, but something I think is binoculars. Oh, there's some soap. So presumably that paper was with the soap. Looks like a lighter. What's this? A landscape painting. Where he took that from? Yeah, that's probably something like, oh, there's a room. What's this on the wall? Oh, it's a painting. I'll take it. One of those things. This is maybe a tube of toothpaste, perhaps. What is this? I can't even read this. Cleaner, perhaps? This is a stuffed peanuts with alcohol. This is a giant stuffed peanut. I guess that's also full of alcohol. And he doesn't have it anymore. I guess he used it. Yeah, that must have been in that party puzzle. That party scene, I think, was the most fun of this game. I remember it being a lot of fun. It was like really leaned into the social aspect and like talking to wacky characters and that kind of stuff. Here's a Russian rifle, extra Russian ammo. There's a flask of vodka. I'm sure he put that somewhere. Oh, there's Deutschmarks. He has a couple of those from, I guess, some Nazis that he knocked out. This is a pan, and it's not a hand mirror. I guess I had to specify that because, yeah, that really does look like a hand mirror. And so, yeah, really gotta ingrain that. Then there's chickpeas. Looks like 2 chickpeas. Oh, Zach, that dirty dog. He looks like he took Borishnikov's hat when he passed out or something. So, there's buying more schnapps. There's a note, I guess, in, Borishnikov's pocket. And looks like here we have a book, maybe taken from the library, a bookshelf in Borishnikov's office. It says Politics Schmolitics by Jeff Marks. So a little political satire for you there. And then this, I think, is a reference to Balzac Globotron. Looks like it's a adult magazine that is called, I won't say the word, but it's an Indian Kitty Palace. Yeah, just like a not quite tasteful reference back to that old game. And he owns it. I guess one of the characters had it. And yeah, it looks like that's that. Definitely seems like it's missing a few screens there. That's interesting. I wonder if there's somewhere else in this collection. Because I definitely remember there being some interaction with the Nazi machine. Huh. Well, there's plenty more to get to, but I think we're going to have to save that for another time. Thanks for watching, and PCG you later.